3, 2, 1, action!
Okay, cool. So, I mean, this is our first Fit for Films podcast. We're very excited that we have Magic here with us, Norbert.
That's a good question.
Yeah, where does the magic come from?
It's actually not that. It's not like a special thing. Like when I was like 8, 9, I was already pretty full of myself, right? So I had to come up with a name for my email address. I was making email, whatever. And then my English wasn't that great, so I was like trying to say that magical Norbert. I don't know why. I'm a weird kid. I was a weird kid. Yeah, basically. And I made like Magic Norbert, and it just stuck with me, and started using it as a username, and then it stuck with me.
It's still there now.
No, so nothing special really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave that out. We'll keep that secret to yourself.
So you're fighting in Bellator.
Yeah.
You've got a pro record 5-0.
Yeah.
You've got a fight coming up in a couple of weeks. So if we sort of want to dig into where your martial arts started, and how old were you and what style of martial arts you started with first of all.
Yeah. So my dad he won the Olympics in 1980 in Greco-Roman wrestling, and then after that he's going to kickboxing. He won a couple world titles there as well, and then MMA, blah blah. So all his life was around sports, and my granddad as well, and he's there.
Amazing.
So like my whole family on my dad's side, they all have been like fighters.
Yeah.
And I started when I was actually like a year and a half. I started with karate, Kyokushin karate.
Yeah.
And I remember
How old
I was
were
just a year and a half.
Oh.
I was the youngest kid there, and I was just running around and and then that's it. I did the whole session actually. Like I did a whole hour of training, but just messing about. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Then I got into Kung Fu, and then also my dad was always trying to get me into wrestling and all that stuff. But I never really liked it. And then he opened up his gym in Hungary when I was like 9, and I just fell in love with it. And ever since I've been doing it. And then my mum moved out to the UK, and I was like, you know what? If I really wanna make it, if I wanna be something special, I can't do it from Hungary, so I have to go somewhere else. And luckily my mum was here, so I moved out here, and that's when I started training at London Shoot. And then probably one of the best gyms in the world,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some hell of a fighters.
It's not even just the fighters, the coaching.
Yeah.
Obviously the head coaches, Paul and Alexis and Marius, they're all everyone's amazing, and it's a different vibe in there. It's something that not a lot of people can deal with.
Yeah.
But we're also very close, like literally like a family. Like whenever I've got a problem, an issue, I can call them. They help me. All the guys are literally like my big brothers, and the coaches have been my father figures because my dad lives in Hungary. So, like that's the place I would call home.
Yeah, I think the UK really, like we're watching your vlogs and sort of seeing how you're going prepping up to the fight, and there's one thing that really sort of you can really see from watching the videos is the team, the lads, the banter fucking around and everything else, and everybody training hard. And I think it's I guess you train so hard, everybody sees themselves at their worst, people pick each other up, and you see that camaraderie between, and especially fighters as well, Yeah,
100%. I think a gym, especially a martial arts gym, is the best place for that kind of stuff, because people come from different background and different life experiences and everything. So you get to mix a lot of things together, and then there's no hate in between people. Obviously, there are a couple of people like we had to get rid of. They actually in the UFC. Funny enough, they're three of the only rats in the UFC right now. Oh. We don't really like them. We like loyalty,
Yeah.
And they just did silly stuff. They got actually kicked out of the gym. So there's always a couple of idiots everywhere.
When we came down.
Yeah.
It's really like the egos are left at the door, everybody's on the same page, and everyone's really welcoming. Like for me, I was really nervous going in there, and everyone just comes up, says hello, welcomes you in, wants to talk to you, get to know you. It's like, it seems like a scary place, but it's also a very warm and welcoming place too.
Yeah, so the 100%, obviously if you're not coming to spar us, because then we're going to try to, put you to sleep. But no, definitely we're very...
I'm never coming back.
But you're not going to... Oh, wow, we might get this far.
I know we might.
But as I said, we're really we're a really close community within the gym.
Yeah.
And we appreciate loyalty and all that, and friendship and all that kind of camaraderie, like you said, all that kind of stuff. So it's very rare to get people who would do silly stuff, and usually they get found out quite early. Yeah. Although some of them, those 3 rats go away with for quite a long time. Yeah. But they got kicked out straight away. Maybe I shouldn't be talking like that. Maybe.
Do you ever get, obviously when you're sparring and stuff, do you ever like, if you're having a bad day or something, I don't know, do you ever like actually get into it?
Yeah, all the time. Sometimes someone like, let's say, hits me an elbow, I'm like, you know what I'm going to get you now, and I lose there. Everyone has those days when someone just like, I'm just not in the mood. Yeah. And like, I'm angry, and like, I'm going to make you pay for it a little bit. Okay. And then after they're like, well, yeah, you lost your shit a little bit, but all right, we're cool. Yeah. You know, then we'll start bantering and, you know, hugging each other or whatever after. But there's always days when someone loses days, you know. I've had it several times. The other guy said it before as well, you know, especially with me because I'm a bit annoying. So people can lose it with me.
I mean, it happens to us in the gym. I'm in a bad mood. Yeah.
For me, it's not just that I've got a big mouth. So if I say something, someone might lose there and try to kill me. So, so it happens.
Hey, that was my question. What is it like to be punched in the face?
Oh, well, it's not nice, is it?
What is it like to just know you're going to go in and you're just going to get
Well, I try not to get... Well, there's the thing. So my style, and most of the guys in the gym, anyone who's an intelligent fighter, they don't really want to get hit. You know, when you see those guys who's like walk forward like, oh, I'm going to trade punches and, you know, yeah, cool. You're going to get CTE in like 10 years, so good luck. It's like, I'd rather be intelligent and not get hit, you know. Actually, one of my favourite sayings is, he who hits and runs away lives to fight another day, you know? Yeah. So I try not to get hit too much. Obviously, sometimes you have to take a couple shots, but it's not nice. It's a horrible... I've got specific spars when I'm like, I go in, I'm like, I'm really nervous, and I'm like... Because I know if I just make one little mistake, I might be sleeping, and then I'm not sparring for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know? Okay. Yeah. Might be throwing my words after, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
So so you're training camp at the moment, so as you're 2 weeks out, so how does it sort of talk us through a little bit of a day, or you know, what is your schedule like? How many coaches do you have, different disciplines that you're fighting, sort of how does that lay out at the moment?
So to be honest with you, our camp, in camp, it's kind of similar like to me. Well, it's all the same really, because I'm always training. I'm always at the gym 10 hours a day. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So I do the same sessions, I do, you know, the same kind of... So the only thing that really changes is the structure of training. So now it becomes more opponent specific. So the guy I'm going to be fighting is going to be going for this like specific submission, going to throw specific kicks. So I'm going to try to imitate that in my training.
You spend a lot of time studying other fighters, the way that they fight.
Yeah. Basically, I watch their fights. Also, as I said, like for example, Alexis and Paul, they watch the fights and then they're really good at what they geniuses. So when it comes to that, obviously when you do coaching questions, they are my main coaches, they're my head coaches. Yeah. For example, obviously we got guys who like ped us. For example, Harry Connelly, he peds us at the gym. He stopped now with fighting, but he was one of the best amateur boxers in the UK. Like he was amazing. Yeah. And so he does a lot of ped work with me. Obviously that's under Alexis' eyes and Paul's eyes. So you know, if Alexis goes, all right, this is what you're going to do with him, blah, tells Harry what to do, and then Harry just beds me and does that basically. Okay, gotcha. And obviously adds his genius to it as well a little bit, but the coach, that obviously Paul and Alexis, and then I can't explain this, especially when you speak to Alexis, like if there's an Einstein of fighting, or not even an Einstein, I don't even like a Nietzsche or something like that, that's the person. Yeah. I mean, yesterday as well, like I was making a mistake, we were going over something and one of my punches were a little bit off. I'm like, I don't get why. It's like, he looked at it like, I just do this. And then the punch became perfect. I'm like, this is nuts. Like, how do you?
It's so important to have that right coach.
But the reason for that is because he's been there. You know, you see a lot of coaches who've never really done it. Yeah. Whereas he's been there. He's sparred everyone. He competed. So he got qualified for an Olympics. You know, he's been a black belt for 20. He should be a coral belt now. You know, he's got WBC heavyweight champion boxers. So like when it comes to Alexis, like his knowledge on the sport is outrageous. And like I said, my dad, so his dad was his coach, and he always said like, my dad was like, apparently he was a genius. Unfortunately, I never met him, but apparently he was a bit of a genius. And my dad, as I said before, like he won the Olympics and competed in kickboxing and then went to grappling world championships, like submission, stuff like that. So he knows his stuff as well. But when I'm having a conversation with him, I'm like, I can't explain to you, like I tell him that I can't explain to him that how good Alexis is. Like, you have no idea. Because everything that, like, you know, you think you know, Alexis will know more. And my dad just, like, I can see, like, all right, cool. Like, he's like, yo, cool. Like, don't forget I'm your dad. But at the same time, Alexis' knowledge is just outrageous. Yeah. Outrageous. And that's why, for example, KSI started training with us, and now he's smashing it. He's knocking people out left, right, centre. Because he's got, and I'm 100%, like, obviously, Judge is one of the hardest working people I've ever met. So he's going to do the same work as professional fighters. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? So he's really taking it seriously. So you can't take anything away from him. Yeah. But the way he's beating people up, that's because of Alexis. Yeah. Because he's always going to be good, or whoever, even if you give him to a good coach. But only because he's just such a hard-working guy and everything. But to have Alexis, that's what's going to make him great. Yeah. You know, and that's what's going to make me great. And that's why Michael Page is so successful. Yeah. And that's why Derek Chisora went, arguably beat Alexander Usyk on the split decision, you know, because of Alexis. I think that's kind of the secret to our success.
So you're in there 10 hours a day?
Yeah, most days, yeah.
6 days a week?
No, not 6 days, but like 4. I say 4 days I'm there, like 10 hours a day, the rest of them like 4 or 5 hours. But then, because after that I go home and I do extra sessions in the gym near me. That's when I do my lifting sessions. Okay. So I'm still training 2-3 times a day, you know. But those days when I'm in the gym all day, those are 10-hour days.
Do you ever just get like, I just want to get out
every day, all the time. I wake up in the morning, it's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Is that how you feel?
All the time. Obviously,
hey, well, we know you struggle to get out of bed in the morning. Yeah. But that people gets you up.
Yeah, no. So that's literally like I'm just looking forward to in the morning when I'm driving to the gym. I'm like this. It's like I just want to drink that just before session, so I wake up. But it literally, it's like someone said, like I don't even know the exact quote, but when you get really good at something, that's when you're on the border of love and hate. Yeah. And that's how I feel, because I'm doing it every single day and constantly the same thing. And like, I can't do it without it. When my knee was bad, I was struggling with everything. Like I can't train, it's so hard. Yeah, then it's frustrating. It's hard exactly, because I want to do it, I love it. But when you do it every day and it gets a bit too much.
I mean, I go to the gym every day and I train hard every day, but I'm not in the gym. I'm in the gym for probably 6 hours a day, but I'm working, I'm coaching. Yeah. I'm not training.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
And I still get to the point where at the end of the week, I'm like, oh, I just want to be outside. Yeah. I don't want to be in a gym environment. Yeah. But you go. No,
I agree. But there's a thing, so don't get me wrong, before everyone, like, I'm not training 10 hours a day, right? I'll do, let's say 2.5 hours in the morning, then I sleep in the gym, then we got another session, and then let's say if I've got a wrestling class to teach, I teach that wrestling class. You get what I mean? Yeah. So I do that kind of stuff as well, and that's how it comes up to 10 hours. So I'm not going to say that, I'm there 10 hours training. Yeah. But I still do 2-3 sessions a day, so like Wednesday, for example, I wake up, I do my sparring, then I go back to the gym near me, I do my weights, and then I do my runs in the evening. So even those days I'm not in the gym 10 hours, it's the workouts, it's all, they're always there. But like you said, like it gets a little bit too much, the same environment and stuff like that. It does get a little bit too much sometimes.
So you run, how many times you run, like, because you have to do your, what's your ski erg again? Marius was telling me you have to ski a certain
height. So I've got the best ski erg in the gym. My 3-minute ski erg, I don't remember the other ones, but my 3 minutes was 997.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 997 meters.
In 3 minutes?
No, or 998, yeah.
So we did at High Rocks, our 1,000 meters was 4 minutes 20. No, we weren't, we were 3:55. Yeah. Mine was 4:20 on my own 1,000 meters. We were 3:55. So he basically did what we did in 3 minutes on his own.
Yeah. So that's my skill. My best run. My runs. I used to be a very good runner. Well, not very good, but I used to be a decent runner. I used to get like all my 5Ks around like sub 90 and stuff, or around 90 minutes, something like that, whatever. Especially for someone who's like 95-ish, whatever.
I know.
But since my knee surgery, it's just my runs haven't been the same. Obviously, I just can't. Even though like I try to work hard, I just can't push myself. My legs get a bit too tired.
Yeah.
So again, that took me 22 years to get my legs to that level that I can run. So I think now I'm trying to run like 3 times a week, but they're not going to be as cardiovascularly tiring as I used to do them. So now I'm using different machines.
Yeah. I mean, I just find it really impressive because I obviously am in the CrossFit world, and the kind of fitness influencer world is what I see through Instagram, and I see what we all do and how we all train. And then when I met you and I saw all the different parameters and benchmarks that you have to hit, and you hit every single one of them, like your all-round fitness is insane.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So you
do all of that before you even then get in the ring.
Yeah. Well, but that's gym specific. Like we don't have good cardio. You know, a lot of other fighters, they don't do the same kind of work. You know. And so that's again gym specific. Those are scores that Alexis hit easily. Yeah. So the best run score I think at the gym is Alexis's. The best climb is Alexis's. You get what I mean?
Really?
So I think the best bike is either Paul or me as well on a not the Rogue one, but another
evil.
One. Yeah. Yeah, so
evil.
Actually, no, I think Paul's got it. So even the coach, it's like the coaches can back it up as well. That's what I'm trying to say.
And legit.
Yeah, so everyone and they come up with the scores. So we just have to hit those scores, and you know, if you hit them scores, then you have to go even higher up, and then everyone. It's always a competition. So like you said, like we try. Like it's for example, CrossFit. There's 5 gone bad. One workout. Yeah. That's not really like a 5 gone bad, you know. Wait. I was going to say. But then when you do like a Fran, for example, it's not going to be the same. Like I'm going to be struggling with that. Or if you do any of the weighted exercise, when you do like an arm exercise or whatever, they are going to be hard. Like my lifting is not going to be. I'm 100% sure that your lift's going to be way over mine.
It's different. I mean, you doing your lifting versus moving fast with a lighter barbell, that's where I struggle.
I think either way you're going to beat me in that one. I'm just saying we're so cardio based.
Now.
We're so cardio based. That's why I said let's put some cardio in there as well, because we do that every day. So like as I said, like when we started, like I'm doing like 4 cardio sessions a week right now. Yeah. So my fitness is going to be quite good. But for my lifting, because I don't lift so much, my lifting's not going to be the same. But the CrossFitters, that's what's great in CrossFit, because they're so rounded. Yeah. Like that's why I love to watch all, like I said before, the Dotters, and like they lifting heavier than me, like, you know, they make me feel, you know, quite like, I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, you get it, you can lift heavy, all right, cool, I can fight. But, you know, that's my argument. But you know, when you watch all those guys, it's outrageous, the kind of fitness they've got and strength and all that, it's amazing.
And sort of that volume of training that you're doing, especially at the moment, like fueling yourself and your nutrition, I know you study hard and you educate yourself about your nutrition. But how do you manage that? Do you pre-prep a load of food if you're out in the gym for a long time, and do you manage?
So I'm always meal prep. I try to meal prep just because I don't usually have time to cook and stuff like that. But right now for this weight cut, I've got a nutritionist. He's really, really good. Yeah. Like literally until probably yesterday or the day before yesterday, I had so much energy, and now that my weight's coming down a little bit too low, now I'm feeling like you know, my energy is dropping a little bit, which I usually feel way before. Yeah. So, but I try to do all my research. How can I get my cardio better? Like, what can I take? Or what kind of supplements can, you know, oxidize my blood? Like all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I try to read and watch documentaries and as much as I can to educate myself. Yeah. But I think that's the most important part in everything, really, in life, just having food right. Yeah. Because even if you don't have time to train, whatever, it's just keeping yourself healthy. And especially nowadays when you go to any supermarket or any shop and the food's going to be horrible, you know, they're all corn fed and this and that. You know, you're trying to find some pasture-raised, chicken or whatever, you can't find it. Yeah. Right? It's hard. Like getting raw milk is so hard. Yeah. And those are the things that you kind of need. But everything is just, you know, it's unfortunately they need to produce for more people, and then because of that, quality drops.
I mean, I was just going to make a silly comment, really, that it is important to have the right nutrition because I'm on my nutrition. But if I have my little girl with me and I eat like Cocoa Pops, before I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But the majority of the population may just eat a bowl of Special K for breakfast, and then they go to the gym. And they wonder why they're tired and they've got this high sugar spike and stuff. And you think, oh, I've had a bowl of Special K, what's wrong with that? And if I eat like that type of food, if I'm with Chloe and then I go to the gym, I'm literally like, this is not good. Like I just feel tired. And it does all come back to what you're fueling. And it's so important to educate yourself, even just like the supplements that you take and what you're taking pre and post and all of that.
But I think the whole society is kind of built. Well, by the way, I'm very philosophical on my society. I'm doing my Twitter off now, so I'm still on philosophical stuff. But I feel like our whole society is built around that kind of stuff. Why don't we just push back our work hours and everything by an hour? And then instead of you waking up at 7 a.m. and rushing to work and only having Special K, you can sit down, have a proper breakfast, and also like spend time with your family at the same time. And I think that would change a lot of stuff. You know, everyone would get a little bit closer together. And also you can live a healthier lifestyle. I feel like right now, everything's about money and making it. And obviously, understandably, companies want to make as much money as well. But because of that, we're kind of going away from our traditional tribal.
But here it's very much like that, like the rat race. I mean, when I lived in Switzerland, you know, you go to work a bit later, you get an hour and a half for your lunch, you leave early, like nobody does anything on a Sunday. August, everyone buggers off and spends the whole of August with their family, and it's very much it is a work-life balance or training-life balance, whichever one it is. And it is hard to manage. I mean, especially you must feel it, to be on the go, get everything in, get your work done. It's so hard to stay on top of everything and then get on with life as well.
No, 100%. Like for me,
get ready for a fight.
Yeah, for me it's a little bit different because obviously all my life's around that one thing. So I will, whatever I can do, I'll kind of, it sounds bad, but in a way, I left my family. No, they left me, but they moved away, so I stayed here, right? Also, they said they don't like me anymore. So. Obviously, I used to live with my family, whatever. But even like when I speak to, for example, my mom, she's like, "Oh no, I had to wake up early. I had to wake up 6 because I had to start work at 7, blah blah. So I left the kids this and that." And I'm like, well, that's for most families, that's most jobs, right? You have to start early, and my little brother and sister at home, they too lazy, they just hitting puberty, they're 12 and 13, so they're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to make some eggs for myself. No, they're just going to get like chocolate or whatever, I'll go to school, you know? And I think that's, as I said, like, it might be a societal issue, because if we can just switch around, everyone would get healthier, and everything will get closer. But then there are other stuff, obviously I don't want to get into it, that might affect different stuff.
But I think as well, the productivity would actually probably increase, like with people having more time and all
people
of that.
I mean, look at these four-day work weeks. Everything like my friend, he's worked for a pension fund, and he's like, I'm there 4 days a week. I'm there from 9 till 8 almost every day. Like I'm working a lot more because I know I will have Friday, Thursday, Sunday off, and then even on Sunday or Monday I can do like an extra 2-hour work. So he's working even more than he was working before. So I think if you give people more time, I think it's a good thing. Also, I think everything right now, especially in the West and like London and stuff like that, everything is so, like you said, a rat race, and everyone's so stressful.
Busy,
So you give a little bit extra time for everyone, everything would calm down a little bit, I feel. Well, I might be wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Don't get too calm. Do you take? So when you go into, obviously you've got a fight coming up. When you go into the fight, do you like? How like, I don't know, talk me through how you get ready. Like, do you put all that aggression in? Like, what goes through your mind?
Well, usually I'm really nervous. I'm really scared. Someone's going to try to take my head off. But no, I work so hard. I know that I just don't see these guys work as hard as I do, right? Especially like my weight class, right? It's hard the heavier you get, the harder it is to work hard. And I just want to show people my skills and all the things I worked on, and I want to be the best in the world. So this is all my life, like, all these kids, all kids usually have like heroes, and it's usually Spider-Man, this and that. All my childhood heroes were like Hercules and Theseus and all these Greek heroes and Achilles. So I grew up around like warriors. I always wanted to be a warrior.
Yeah.
So for me, I just want to be able to show people that I'm a warrior, and if God, if God wants me to be a hero in a way, do you get what I mean? If my name can, stay in the books forever as one of the greatest combat fighters or warriors that ever existed, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a bit of a privilege to go into a fight, and I just work really hard so I can, I get the privilege.
That's a smart headspace.
Yeah, but at the same time, I do get very nervous because there's going to be another guy trying to take my head off.
And the other thing I noticed that from the vlogs again, is that you were chatting about, because it's been quite a while since your last fight, and then it's actually been even longer since there's been a crowd as well. So you're having that, the crowd vibe and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think, like you're saying, because you're fighting in Ireland, it's going to be a pretty rowdy crowd.
Yeah. So I fought in Ireland before. My biggest fight, my best fight was in Ireland, and I remember I fought an Irish kid who's since that fight he's been smashing. He's doing like other shows as well, doing really well. I remember I walked down, it was like 10,000 people or something like that, and every single person booed me.
Oof. How does that feel? Or are you?
I was like, this is great. I was like, I'm going to show you guys. I was like, after I remember I was walking out, I was like, you know what? After the fight, you guys are going to be buying me drinks. And then after the fight, I beat this guy up. And after that, like people are like, listen, can I buy you a drink? Whatever. I'm like, this is pretty sick. Like I've had that in my mind, and everyone's booing, and by the end, everyone was cheering. And to me, that was like, wow, this is amazing. Obviously, like I fought in Hungary before as well. Same with Bellator. There were like 5,000, 6,000 people. Not as big, but still quite a few people. And there as well, everyone was like cheering for me, and just for me, the crowd just gives that little extra. And my last fight, that was 2.5 years ago, a long time ago, I had no crowd. So to me, I was like, this is boring. This is not the same. I remember
doesn't get that energy that picks you.
It's not the same. I walked out. It's like it felt like no one's interested in me. Like literally, they don't want to see my fight. That's literally what it felt like. I was like, this is horrible. And I walked in. I was like, oh, the fight started already, and that's why I got caught in the first 10 seconds, because I was like so like calm in a way. Like I wasn't wired up. It wasn't. I don't even know how to say it. It was like, oh, whatever. It's just
like
another day. Yeah.
It's like another not another training
session.
But
similar. I was just a little bit too. Also, I was very confident in my skills, so I wasn't too nervous. But secondly, it was more about the fact that it's like it's too quiet for me. I need something extra.
There is a point, whether it's whatever it is you're doing, that there's like that sweet spot where you need just that right amount of adrenaline. Yeah.
Also, I feel like some people need that. Like I like to be in front of cameras, and all that kind of stuff. So I like to perform, which is quite weird because normally I'd like to stay away from people, but when it's time to perform, I like to entertain. I like to perform, and I think some people get that hype from there just when they can entertain and perform in front of people. But there are other people who just don't deal well with the crowd. I feel like I'm pretty good because early when I was 18, I had one pro fight and I was already like giving the crowds. Whereas most people, I was already on a big stage, Whereas most people, when you put them on a big stage, they just get a little bit shook. They're like, oh wow, I've got a lot of eyes on me.
Totally different environment, right?
Yeah.
I guess, and there's some people feed off it and others.
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of those people who feed off that attention, and I like to be in the centre.
At least you're honest about it.
Yeah, well.
And is it sort of like, I would imagine that, like you're hearing the crowd when you're walking in, you're hearing the crowd, but when it goes, do you still hear, or are you sort of...
No, I go deaf fully.
So I imagine it's a bit like that, and then in between when you go back to your corner, you're feeling the energy of the crowd and everything else.
So the only people that I hear is literally my coaches. Yeah. It's actually very like selective. It's so weird how we evolved, or I don't know, but I can hear my coaches, I can hear the ref, I can hear my opponent, and that's it. Yeah. And everything else is just not there. And to be fair, even when I spar, like you've seen the gym, we've got music blasting, whatever. Most of the time when it's a rough spar, I just don't hear the music. I just hear the coach. Yeah. I can hear my training partner. And that's it.
It's pretty amazing how the brain does that. You'll be focusing on just the things that you need to be doing what you need to do.
It's outrageous.
Yeah.
That was like what we were talking about before. The similarities, like if you're getting set on fire, Like, there must be, I know I always keep going back to this, but there must be something there. Like, you're under a lot of pressure when you're about to perform a big stunt and you've got everyone going, everything, I don't know, I've never been on set, but, you know, I can imagine there's a big kind of build-up, and then you're like, right, this is about to happen, and you must just have to zone.
But I think that's a sort of a beauty of it, is that you have all of there's a lot of fuss, and there's a lot of, you'll have hair and makeup or costume, and then you'll have people giving you notes and all of this stuff, and they're doing lighting checks, but you're getting closer and closer to the point of where you have to do something where you have to really focus, and then when you're at that point, it is a very still, because you're solely focused on doing what you need to do to come out the other side and be okay. So, I mean, I'm not in a ring for.
No, maybe I'd rather be in a ring than hanging off a building. I don't know.
Because you don't like heights.
Well, I don't like moving heights. Well, slowly moving heights I don't like.
It's funny, there's a stunt coordinator called Rob Inch, and he's done Star Wars and all of this stuff, and I remember him saying it's a really interesting point just before somebody, if you're watching a stunt performer, of how they deal with the pressures leading up to doing something which is going to be, you know, potentially have a, you know, where you've got to look after yourself. Yeah. And actually seeing how guys deal with that. Some people deal with it in very different ways. Some people go very quiet. Some people are sort of overexcited and fucking like making jokes, like just trying to keep themselves occupied and not focus on it. But I think everybody deals with it very differently. But I think when it comes to the crunch of when you're just before you go, it's definitely a case of sort of everything just goes to the side, and then you just focus on what you need to. So
got to have your mental game strong.
Yeah, I feel like it's very similar in everything, that where your life's on the line in a way. I think your brain's not going to tell the difference, and then you're going to be releasing the same hormones. I guess maybe the level, you know, you're going to release it might be different, but the feeling should be. I'm assuming you guys get butterflies as well beforehand,
all
and all you will need to go to the toilet constantly. I'm nervous. Normal. I think it's just genuine. Like you get that nervousness. And I think it's the same kind of feeling, but then and also what matters to you. For example, like obviously the death stuff is always hanging above your head, but to me it's more about the embarrassment. Like I don't want to get knocked down in front of millions of people, because I know that, you know, there will be people who will be laughing at me and be like, oh, he deserves it, even though they never met me or something like that. It's just like some people just don't like you for no reason, and they'd be happy. And, you know, I'd rather not give them that, you know, satisfaction.
It's funny you say that, because it's actually the same for a lot of stunt performers. It's not so much the, you know, whether you'll have an injury or something like that. It's really, you don't want to fuck the shot up. You know, there's a lot of people there, and you just want to make sure that you do a really good job of, you know, whatever it is that you're having to do. So sort of a similarity, I guess, in the same regard.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that's it from me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have you got any questions for us? Dave, not me.
No. So 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Man, I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
I can't wait to watch it. Thank you. For the results.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I don't even know if it's legal, but I would say put money on first round knockout. I don't know if it's legal. But I would say put money on first round knockout.
I know where the money's going to go.
Yeah, I'm quite. Listen, it's something that, like, I'm quite confident in my skill set. You know, I mean, he's got more fights, blah blah blah. But I just know the level I'm at. I know the people that surrounding me. I know what I've been doing in training. I'm actually very confident it's going to be a first round knockout. If I lose my shit, it can happen, because I haven't fought in a long time. Excuse my friends, by the way.
You're fine. He's already done it.
If I lose it a little bit,
if
I lose it a little bit, you know, it can maybe take a little bit long. But I'm quite confident in my skill set. I might get him first round with a nice right hand.
Yeah. And
then he's going to be sleeping, and we're going to be celebrating, and it's going to be a good night for us. So.
Love it, man. Look, all the best.
Thank you so
much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having
me.
Very
inspiring young man.
Thank you. I'm trying really hard. really hard. It's not even me right now.
Love it.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thank you.